Hi there, YouTube. Cage Side London, back once again. And I mean, this video is just going to be a bit slightly different. It's going to be talking about current affairs, in terms of what's actually happening in the world right now. And speaking about my thoughts, my personal thoughts on certain situations. And, it's looking like a very, very bleak time. You got the Israel and the Iran conflict, which is currently happening. As of 20 minutes ago, Israel have started to begin a wave of attacks on the Iranian capital of Tehran. Now, when war happens, when events like this happen, it is catastrophic. I don't wish death upon civilians or anything like that. And obviously, there is the Free Palestine movement. But when stuff like this happens, it's very political movement. It's all the governments. It's all, these what they'd call the terrorist organisations, and against the terrorist organisations, and so on and so forth. But really, the people affected by that are the civilians, and touching upon other areas, say like Unicef, which is a charity which provides aid to war-torn areas and conflicts. So there was actually an event the other day called Soccer Aid, whereby in the UK there will be celebrities and professional footballers going head-to-head in a 11-a-side football match to, generate some money, generate some donations that come through from the public. I actually have a bit of an issue with this. I mean, you can have your own personal opinion on why maybe my take is the wrong take, or so on and so forth. And from research, I know that governments do put into UNICEF, but at the same time, it should be down to the governments that are bombing these areas to then facilitate the money, the monetization of providing aid to the civilians. Because if you want to go in there and you want to spend millions and millions and potentially billions of pounds or whatever your currency is on attacking a certain or specific country, then it is your due diligence to provide aid to those civilians. Why is it that the public, and bearing in mind we are living in what could be classed as a cost of living crisis, numerous families in the UK, can't essentially provide food for themselves or better good quality of life compared to what they used to. So you're asking technically the civilians that are taxed heavily, that are squeezed for every penny, for every pound that they earn, to then provide and help out the mess of others. And I can understand, why people do it. It's at the kindness of their heart. But then we have to ask ourselves, are we being taken advantage of? Why is it, again, I'm going to state this again, why is it that it should, that it is not down to the people that are actually bombing these areas, or if not the governments as a whole? And that is something I completely disagree with, in terms of that it should come down to the generosity of the general public. And it just goes to show, war happens all of the time, and it's also an economy thing as well. If you do your research, it's because of the economy, and it's also to spend millions and billions of pounds or whatever the currency is to either generate money or to level out the playing fields in terms of the currency situations and the financial institutes across the world. And it's just a shame, that the people that are caught in the crossfire, the civilians, the children, are the ones that bear the brunt of it. And not only that, the general public, me and you, will pick up the pieces. So personally, I don't believe that there should be such a thing as UNICEF, as hard as that sounds. Because why should it be down to the public to sort out these issues? It should come from the governments. they should sort out their own mess, is my personal opinion. And I understand there's generous people out there that will help out from the goodness and the kindness of their heart. But then you've got to ask yourself, are we being taken advantage of? The amount of money that goes into the expenditure of training up military, to spending money on jets and these aircraft carriers where they can drop bombs on cities, and all of that technology. How much does that cost? They spend more money on trying to attack the civilians than helping out or basic needs, food and water. And you can see it with Israel stopping aid getting to Gaza through Greta Thunberg, right? And regardless of my personal opinion, I just think I'm more of a neutral, that I think that no one in this world should be starved or malnourished from food or water. It's just basic essential needs. But then it's the governments that are causing it, and that ultimately is my problem with the world and how the structure of it works. It just does not make any sense that the people that are less well off are the ones that have to contribute to help out others. And what's to say that this money goes towards them? Obviously, Unicef, an independent charity, potentially, yeah, it does so. I'm not going to dispute that, but I'm just saying that they should put their hands in the pockets if they're willing to dish out the barrage of missiles that come into said areas. Then they should be prepared to help out the civilians that are caught in such action, is my personal take on it. And that's being honest. Obviously doing due diligence and carrying out checks along the way, but to make sure that obviously they're getting to the right people, the people that need such food, such water, along that way. So, but yeah, it should be done in accordance with that, is my personal take. So yeah, I suppose I will leave it there. I mean, I'm going to be doing some more current affairs work on here, so yeah, feel free to stick around for that. May change the name of the channel. I know the channel's gone through a few iterations throughout the course of time, and I might just put it as something generic, because this is what I'm going to be doing, more generic stuff, as well as covering UFC and sporting events X, Y, and Z. So just something a bit more fitting. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Take care. Bye.